also record. And here. Now, I will play the video while we go live in Facebook. And Tito MK will do this in Zoom. Okay, so welcome everyone, and he will be doing the greatest opportunity of the century, okay, to our team, and that is the 6P of Riway. So you will know what are those 6P later from Tito MK's own explanation based from his experience, and we know that he is a Singaporean, so he can understand everything, every word what our CEO has been saying, because he can translate it in English from Chinese to English. Now, Tito MK is a diamond 1-star, okay, and he never get tired building his team, building actually their team, and then he did not leave Tita Madel, okay, alone. They went to Davao, they went to Zamboanga, they went even to North, driving at his age. You will be surprised how old is Tito MK right now. And it's because as a Chinese himself, they are taking a lot of herbs, herbal food supplements, and he even showed me the dendrobium that we can just see in the brochures, in the video. He has it. Okay, so he and his whole family in Singapore, being Chinese, okay, has this dendrobium, and he never stops learning. He never stops training their own team, as he was once a CEO of his own company for, I think, 20 years already. So, I saw him how they build their team in Singapore, rather in different parts of the Philippines, like in Lucena. He prepared himself all the materials, because as a businessman, okay, as a CEO before of his own company, he wanted also to apply this in his Riway team. And we are blessed that he is in our team. Why? Because he can translate everything that our CEO, Mr. Lim Boon Hong, has said in all the events. So right now, okay, from the Chinese Singaporean himself, we will hear, okay, the version of our CEO, Mr. Lim Boon Hong. Can we give a virtual clap to our speaker for tonight, our Diamond 1-star Tito MK from Laguna now.
Okay, I share screen. Right. Hello, everyone. Are you seeing me well?
Yes.
You can hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, good evening to everybody, wherever you are. Okay, I'm going to present to you Riway 6P, but not actually 6P by itself, but actually it's a business opportunity I'm going to present to you, right?
Okay. Tito, you can see the arrow down there, down. There you go.
Can you see now next screen?
Yes.
Now, I'm sure most of you are being locked down, right? And being locked down, I have a chance to read this book. Can you see this book? Where's my screen? Can you see? Can you see? Who Moved My Cheese? It's a very interesting book. And because I have time to read it, I went through the whole book and analyzed it. It is about change. Today, we are faced with a lot of change, especially with the COVID situation coming. We have no choice but to look at our situation now. Okay, many people really do not want to look at themselves because sometimes looking at themselves, sometimes trying to find out where you are today, actually is quite a painful exercise. Many of us are being sort of so bogged down with day-to-day living that we just don't bother to consider where are we now and where are we going to be. And of course, I should urge all of you to take a look at your situation now. You see the screen on your left side, now, equal to A. How old are you now? I am 72 years old, okay? Of course, many people 72 years old will reach a ripe old age which they want to retire. They enjoy life with the grandchildren. Unfortunately, not for me because I'm still on the stage where I want to build up another career. Okay, then the other thing is, many of us is this, how is your health? Are you surviving on maintenance medication? I think in Philippines, many people are just on this one. Do you have any reserve for emergency? Let's, for example, COVID. Emergency comes, your income starts to dry up. Do you have enough for that? Have you got a plan to retirement? And most important, is your job at risk now? Your business at risk? Or your industry you're in at risk? So those people in the tourism industry, airline industry, and even the OFW overseas are really having a tough time. So all of us want to be healthy, right? We want to have enough for emergency. We want to have enough for retirement plan. And we, of course, in the end, if you have all this, you want to have less other people. Now I'm 72 years old. At that time when I start schooling and start studying, I don't have benefit of this cash flow quadrant written by Robert Kiyosaki. In fact, this is part of a book that he wrote. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. At that time when I start working or start schooling, I wanted poor dad to advise me. What he says is, well, you study hard, then get a job, and then work hard. And this I did. In fact, I studied very hard, well, not so hard, but at least get through university, get a good job, and work in management consulting, work in banking, and also being headhunted by the Ministry of Finance in Saudi Arabia, where I had looked after the portfolio that's worth $1.5 billion at the time in 1978. Now, having a job, of course, everybody have a job, they intend to be self-employed, you know, be boss. So what I did went into the business, but many people go into as a job. And me as well, go into a job, go into the business. But very soon, we will find that we are bothered by overheads. We have to pay rent, we have to pay staff, we have to pay a lot of things. And we worry about customer. In fact, we become so stressed that in the end, we're working for the landlord and for the employees. This is what exactly I told my wife. We had 3 businesses in Naga city at that time. I said, no point. We must enjoy ourselves. Cut off all 3 and be independent. All right. Now, that is the poor dad advice. Today, you're very lucky. You have this cash flow quadrant. And what Robert Kiyosaki said is that you must, in order to have financial freedom, in order to be very successful, to have money coming in all the time, you must have a business owner, type B business owner, where you own a system and that work for you. An example of this is invest in Jollibee, invest in McDonald's, right? Most of people know McDonald's, and then the business will work for you. But the trouble is that in McDonald's, in Jollibee, in this well-known franchise, you got to pay a lot, all right? So now there's opportunity, which I'm going to present to you, what is GOOTC, GOOTC about, that you can own a system that works for you. At the same time, you can be healthy. And not only that, you can expand overseas to any part in the world. You are a franchisee for the start and immediately become a franchisor. Then you can bring in franchisee under you. That is the beauty of the Riway system. And you don't have to pay royalties. And I'm going to explain to you how the product is about and how the company can thereby help you, right? Now, this is the usual thing. Temporary income, not residual income, not a business that can work for you. You work, you get money. You work harder, you get harder money. You go hard, you get money. In the end, you work so hard that you fall sick and the money fly away from you, right? This is 95% of the people. Right now, still people are being blinded that this is their future, which is not. So therefore, you must take this opportunity when the lockdown, examine yourself, listen to me, examine what I say, and then move on to a business which the rich dad is telling you. That is a business that has got residual income. A business that you can, without working very hard in the end, have money still coming into you. This is it. This is what we want, all right? We can sit down, relax. But in order to succeed, you must have many things. Of course, you have to work hard. But working hard and determined to succeed is useless. It's useless unless you have got a fantastic product, a great plan with potential that is now in the sunrise industry, not in the sunset industry, a platform that is transparent, procedure that's easy to follow, and the people. People I mean by here is the company, the people in the company. All these factors, all these 6 factors combine to help you to become successful. I go on to say one each in detail. Now, first of all, before I go on that, you must understand this is the mission statement of the company, of Riway, where you started about 13 years ago. You create a comprehensive, effective, high-quality product to help people regain their health. Of course, all companies say, oh, we are very comprehensive, we're very effective, very high quality. But the key word here is regain the health. What do you mean by that? Okay. Despite a lot of advance in science, especially the research done in cancer, billions of money spent in cancer, yet the rate of chronic disease, especially cancer, is on the rise. It's no way being solved. Why? Because the medical industry is into profit. They make money if you get, they do not make money if you get well. That means if you regain health, they will not make money. And this is a book, right? Killing people, killing cancer, not people. Which in fact lists down a lot of things that the medical industry is out to really take advantage of consumer, because the cancer business is a big business, right? So this is sad but true, right? If you put you on a pill, I can see you every 3 months for the rest of your life. That's where we make money on medicine. But if I put you on nutrition, on a plant-based diet, and you get better, you get well, I won't see you again, right? This is what is happening today, right? So what we want to do, in fact, wait, I go back, huh? Yeah. No, I go back to the screen. You see? What we do is that Riway will make you better. And many say, oh, there's a stupid way of the business, because when you make a people better, they won't come back and buy your product. But that is the ethical way. That is the morally correct way. Right? As my wife always say, that there are plenty of fish in the ocean. There are plenty of sick people out there which need our help. They get well, we will lose them. In the end, we don't lose them. It's a win-win situation, because a person gets well, he uses a product, he gets well, very likely he will endorse you to his friends, or very likely he become a member, another member under you. So you win. right? So we win. So there's an ethical way of doing the business, not being what they call pharmaceutical company that makes money continues from you, may put you as a drug dependent for life, right? So this is the mindset I want to get people to change, right? In order for you to get well, you must get away from this mindset. What is the mindset? You work very hard, in there you fall sick, right? You collapse, you fall sick. What do? You're going to see a doctor. But when you see a doctor, your money will go away to the pharmaceutical company, to the medical profession. I mean, not doctor. I mean, I don't mean to really bad about doctors. Doctors are very good, but the hospital system and the drug company are here to really take advantage of you. All right. So this is the mindset you're going to change. Do you want to work very hard in the end to see all your money goes to the hospital system? If you don't want to do that, then you will change the mindset. The mindset which I'm now telling you, because their health is your responsibility. And if you don't question that health and you just leave it to the professionals in the medical industry, you will be in this situation whereby you give all your money that you earn to the pharmaceutical company and the drug system. Now, let me just tell you a simple example. There are ladies out there, right? You do laundry, right? And when you do laundry, what do? You turn your trousers or whatever shirt inside out and hang to dry. When I asked a group in Bundok Peninsula, I mean somewhere down in the south, I said, why do you do it? They cannot give me an answer because it was done. So now I'm asking you, if I tell you that flies will be on your clothes, germs will be on your clothes, and all the pollution will be on your clothes, and you turn it back inside, out to inside, and you wear it, what happens? All the pollution goes on the skin, then goes in your body. Now you know it, will you do it again, right? So this is mindset. When you get change is that don't work for the pharmaceutical company or the hospital system. Work to save your money, and to do that, you must have the idea is that your health is your responsibility. No one can take it from you. Now, as far as the product is concerned, to regain your health, this is the fantastic product which Riway has come up. Now it's in the 6th edition. One diamond set, 135,000 peso, 7 bottles. It is a live stem cell therapy in a capsule. And this is very important. This is very important. Research in Singapore, produced in New Zealand. Why Singapore? I'm a Singaporean, or rather I'm an old Singaporean because the younger generation do not know. 30 years ago, 35 years ago, Singapore decided that biotech is a way to go. And they have put in a lot of money, invest in all the structure. And then Singapore has become the number 2 in the world as far as biotech is concerned. Number 1, USA, number 2, Singapore, number 3 is Denmark, number 4 is New Zealand, and number 5 is Australia. This is a guy called Sidney Brenner. He died in Singapore in year 2019, last year. He is the pioneer in cellular biology. No one, I mean, he's an expert in cell. He was in Singapore for the past 10 years before he died to help Singapore to build up this in biotech industry. Now, this is what happens maybe part of his effort. This guy, Dr. Roger Fu, associate professor and principal investigator in GIS, the Norms Investigation of Singapore, and the NUHS, National University Hospital System Cardiovascular Research Institute. He knows a lot. What he says is that the heart holds the key to its own healing. If it can be motivated to heal like the skin, the consequence of the heart attack would be banished forever. So his team found out that something in the molecule of the heart muscle cell is something that blocks this healing process. So if they can unblock it, then we can have the heart that can heal by itself. Now, being produced in New Zealand is very important. If Singapore has deer, of course we produce in Singapore, but Singapore has no deer. So therefore we go to New Zealand. We went to New Zealand, and New Zealand has two important advantages in terms of producing the Putia placenta. Number one, he has got the technology to encapsulate and dry freeze live stem cell taken from the deer placenta, put in a capsule, and when the capsule is being go into the intestine, the live stem cell that was freeze dried will come back again. All right, that is the technology. So we are getting the benefit of live placenta stem cell treatment in our body. Dead stem cell actually don't use, right? The second reason is that New Zealand is the most pollution-free country in the world. And we know that a lot of problems come from animals. So we do not want to extract something from animal that has some inherent disease. So that's why you have the best of both worlds. You have the high technology and you have got the pollution-free extraction. Now, one diamond set costs peso 135,000, 7 bottles. Every time I say this, people say, wow, so expensive, high price. But actually, they're all missing the point. They are not doing the right comparison. Why? First of all, the first comparison is that you are not comparing, say, one capsule of Putia placenta with one capsule of paracetamol or one capsule of the painkiller, whatever that is, or antibiotic. You are comparing a treatment. You should compare, say, what would be the treatment for stem cell in the local hospital or in Germany or in Switzerland? And that costs millions of pesos. You should do that comparison because the same therapy you can get from the other hospital. And you must also consider, the second thing you need to consider is that for 135,000 pesos, you get a franchise and you get to become a franchisor and you get the whole company that's behind you. Now, compare that with the investment in McDonald's. It's actually very, very minute. All right. This therapy treatment, I'll just go through very quickly, come in 4 stages, 4 phases. First of all, the stem cell, the placenta stem cell, and all the other ingredients in the other 11 ingredients in the capsule go in the body to fight the deficiency first. Then it starts to detoxify all the poison out of your body. And then it begins to absorb in the cells to begin to repair. And then it becomes to regenerate into new cells, right? Now, this is SARS. This is SARS. It's a second of the family of coronavirus, right? At the time when it hit in 2002 and 2003 in Singapore, Singapore was very worried because you look at the world is 8,000 cases, and yet Singapore, a tiny population, has 238 cases. So they have to set aside an entire hospital called Tan Tock Seng to treat coronavirus, to treat SARS. And yet 33 people died. What does SARS mean? SARS is actually severe acute respiratory syndrome. Are you hearing me? Right? Respiratory, that means attack our lungs. It attacks our lungs. Just like today, what happened is same thing with COVID-19. Look at Philippines, 46,000 people. I mean, that was quite outdated. Now it's 50 over plus. 1,300 people died. And we are now under another lockdown because some people did not wear masks and the spread goes around. Singapore, 45,000, 26 people died. USA with 4% of the population, 135,000 people died, right? So they're serious. Now, before I go into this, I like to, okay, I go into this first. So happened that before the horror of the lockdown and before the horror of the COVID-19 being known, there was this article that I came across on the BBC on the 29th January 2020. It says that your lungs have an almost magical ability to repair the cancerous mutation caused by smoking. So that we have coronavirus that attacks our lungs, that make us have no oxygen in our body. So there you are, you have this system, stem cell therapy, which can regenerate the nerve cell, the cells of the lungs. So isn't that quite a coincidence? Right. So let me go into a little bit background on the human body and the cells, right? The cells are the basic block of our body. Cells are grouped into tissue, then into organs, and the systems like the immune system, respiratory system, digestive system, and so on. They ultimately form the human body. All cells will die. Definitely they will die. It's a matter of time. If they don't die, that means a baby will be sick on as a baby, it won't be changing into adult. They will die and new cell will form into place. And this renewal of cell is driven by stem cell in our body, which stays hidden in our body, our various organs. Look at the green sign, green star. Those are the stem cells that are resident in our organs and our cells. This guy, Dr. McKnight, right? Dr. McKnight. He wrote a book. He wrote a book, that of a confession of a skeptical physician. In there, he wrote, to every patient who has been misinformed or thinks that the healing is achieved through medication, that theory is wrong. Healing is built in mechanism in each of us, in each one of us, in all our human body. And that mechanism is actually regeneration. So you don't need drugs to heal you. What you need is that you have got to have renewal of cells that works, then that will heal you, right? Because if the cells are diseased, they don't work. They're supposed to do, you'll fall sick, right? And under the cell theory, right? Under the cell theory, all disease cells must die. And the second part is they cannot be born diseased. Cancer cell is the only exception. They are born damaged. And when they are damaged, their cancerous cells, they do not die. That's why it keeps on growing and growing and growing. Right. So that is a little bit on cell theory. And this is the mechanism, this is the theory that you must, if you want to regain your health, you must put it in your mind. You must take back the health, take back your own responsibility. Now, what protein does is that it's an ammunition for our body to reactivate the stem cell to produce healthy and working cells, to bring back the health. The placenta part is only a part of it to reactivate your existing stem cells to work. But all the other 11 ingredients are all nutrients that help you to nourish the cell, to bring the cells, your cells back or your system back into good form. That is why it's formulated in Singapore after they keep on developing it. Now, in this concept, Riway is the forefront of today regenerative medicine. It's in the forefront. And very soon begin brand as the only one in the world with oral live cell live stem cell therapy. Now, of course, this frontier is not new. People know it. But it is the rich and famous who knows it. And thanks to Riway, now the common folks like you and me can benefit from this marvelous system in bringing back our health to optimum level. A little bit about stem cell, how it works. It's very important to understand how actually Riway is working. The fertilized ovum is a first stem cell. This first stem cell is transformed into millions of different kinds of cells that form the human body. And there are three distinct characteristics of stem cells that are as opposed to normal cell. One, it can subdivide and transform itself to millions of different cells. Two, it subdivides to form a clone of itself or another stem cell. And most important, this is the most important, it seeks out problem areas and solve them. Now, to explain this, number three, let's say you have a cut in your hand. What happened? When you cut hand, you start to bleed. Your system was, first of all, stem cells will come in to change into clotting cells to clot your blood, to stop you bleeding. Then new blood cells are formed to replace the one that lost. Then new nerve cells will form to replace the one that is damaged. New arteries or capillaries will be formed. And then in the end, a scalp will be formed. And then under the scalp, the skin is formed. All this is happening without you telling it what to do, without you knowing to put in medicine on it. It will heal by itself. This is what you call regeneration. Right? And very soon you get away the scalp, new skin, as if you have no wound at all. Now, it's consumable, of course. But when it's consumed, it doesn't mean that there's end of the story. Many people like us, we consume it, we keep on consuming it because we keep on having to protect ourselves against the pollution in the world today. And the beauty of this system, beauty of this product is that you have the big advantage to leverage. Why? How? Just like what we're doing now. We're leveraging from my expertise, you're leveraging from Aubrey's expertise. Not only that, we are leveraging from several thousands of satisfied users and members. Just go into YouTube and you'll find a lot of stories, right? A lot of good stories. Now, is there a market? Is there demand? No, there's a big market, but there's no demand. Why do I say there's no demand? For the Filipino, they eat rice maybe 3 times or maybe 4 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, veranda, and dinner. They know when they're hungry, they demand for rice because they know it. Rice is the one they want, right? But when you're sick with diabetic, do you demand Riway? Do you demand protein life percent treatment? No, you don't, because you don't know it's there, right? So you and me, you have come on, you learn, you know that such a thing exists. So that's where you have the opportunity. The opportunity that everyone cannot see are the real opportunity for you, right? So therefore, it will give you the stable income, the sustainable income, and the high income that you are wanting to have. This is an example of how Riway performed over the years. We start the first generation 2008, 5,500 bottles, second edition 15,000, third edition almost 250,000, fifth edition 1.5 million, and the fifth edition 5 million. And this is how Riway performed in Philippines. 4 officers within 3 years. It's actually quite a fantastic story, right? Now, this book, The Next Trillion, is written by Paul Zine-Pfizer. He also wrote another book called, The Wellness Revolution. In there, he says that the wellness industry will be the industry in the world today. And people are now not just waiting to fall sick, but they're taking a proactive approach. That means they are finding ways of finding products that they want to be healthy and they want to stay healthy. And this book, these two books further go on to say that the benefit of this new industry will not be companies, but individuals, people like you and I, who will become the next future millionaire or billionaires. Why? It's because to embrace this wellness concept and the product require a mindset change, which I've just told you, the mindset change about. That is best served through a direct person-to-person contact. Maybe now not face-to-face, but at least computer to computer, right? Therefore, the new opportunities that await the individual person or the health professional armed with this knowledge and newfound awareness can become the future billionaires. So Riway can provide you with this knowledge and the product and the business platform and the support for you so that you can embrace and succeed in this venture, right? This is the potential they are all about. Now, Riway can easily sold this patent and relax and enjoy the royalties. Why did one go through all the trouble to set up the network? Why? Because Riway want us to have a business and they can benefit to give us health and give us wealth. I mean, Riway can say, oh no, I just sell this patent and I be very rich on it. Never mind, right? But they, why to go through all this bother? It's because it is this mission statement of them, the third, second, third, and fourth. It's all focused to people like us or people of potential like you who become a member. They make sure that you can have all the time to focus on your goal and give you the best reward and all the time increase your market potential for you. They take away all your headaches of running a business. They do it for you. You just focus on your goal in making money, building up your network, and that's it, right? This is the mission statement. The first mission statement is about product. The other three mission statement is helping you, the franchisee or the franchisor or the members, to make sure that you can profit from this. And this is a plan, a fantastic plan, actually. I mean, I have on certain occasions, people will say, oh, no, this is a pyramid scheme. Now, the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines have 7 criteria for a pyramid scheme. But the first criteria, the key feature is that a pyramid scheme focuses mainly on recruitment of members. Often there are no products involved. And if the product involved, the value is merely incidental. Now, many of us heard about Herbalife. Herbalife has been sued by its own members of running a pyramid scheme. And in fact, they settled out of court. I mean, they want to keep it quiet, they settled out of court. But many of us also are involved in network marketing. And what we know, there are big disadvantages of it. I think we have been also involved in other network marketing before. And these are the main problem areas. First of all, you must maintain quite a sizable amount if you, depending on your rank, so they can get the commission. If you don't maintain, whatever sales commission you get will go up to your upline or go to the company. And sometimes many companies will have a time period, yearly renewal fee. If you don't renew, that's the end of your commission. And sometimes company will say, oh, you must have personal sales. If you don't have personal sales, your commission may be in fact or maybe become zero. And many companies, some companies have what they call forced purchases. Auto ship, they call it. A lot of people end up with bottles of juices which they cannot sell, they give it away. And there are limits on the level they can go. Riway has no maintenance, no deactivation period, no renewal period is needed, no quota, no force purchase, no limit on your levels or no level limits. And the commission is in fact infinite. So this is one of the best plans that I've seen for a long time. And the platform. Of course, when you say platform, Riway is like a franchisor. It gives you a platform that takes away the headache from accounting, stocking, distribution, compensation, and so on. So you can have a working model from day one. As soon as you join, everything is there for you. You don't have to invent the wheel. You just absorb the knowledge and you can go into business from day one. But what important statement here is Singapore-based company. Now, I don't mean to brag, but then I am the only person that can explain what it means by Singapore-based company. Because I am a very senior, right, my age. Because 40 plus years ago, when I was, maybe more than that, Singapore was rocked by a pyramiding scheme. So much so that so much impact on the country that the government say, no more such thing, forever, no more. And in fact, for a long time, very long time, no company can set up in Singapore to be a network marketing base until the year 2000, where the company finally realized, hey, network marketing is a good concept. We cannot go against it. So they changed the laws, they adopt new regulation, and the Singapore University of Singapore start to run courses in network marketing from year 2000. But I'm a Singaporean, I hold a Singapore passport, and when I go to every country, they will always say, oh, Singapore, a very fine country. That means you're fine a lot. When you litter, you're fine. You chew gum, you're fine. When you eat in the MRT station, you're fine. So it's a fine country. But at the same time, they say, oh, Singapore is very respected because it's a country that know the laws are very firm and determined. Nobody dare to break it. That's exactly what happened with Singapore-based company. So if you represent Singapore-based company doing internet marketing, you are very sure that this company is above board. No hanky-panky, no scam involved in it. Because that is a brand that Singapore has been in the world. So there's a big advantage for you. Instead of representing a company, oh, I'm from Timbuktu, this is my company. Well, they will look at you and say, oh, you are a representative of Singapore company. Singapore, oh, this, oh, good. That means I listen to you because it is a company that do not become hanky-panky. Right. So this is Singapore, this is a platform. And the procedures, of course, are very simple. I mean, all you do is to open your mind and you learn. Very simple. And the company, through this form, conduct a lot of training, effective training in seminars, recognition night, leaders night, practitioner night, and also conduct things like testimony night to enhance their mission to build up the market for your members, for you. But of course now, it's now in a virtual form. And you have to excuse me if I be rough on the edge, because it's the first time I'm doing it. And in fact, I must tell you, I belong to the non-email age. That means my time is snail mail. I remember when the email started coming out, I asked my daughter, hey, can you teach me what email is all about? Then my daughter looked at me. She said, Papa, you're ancient, right? So from now on, actually, in order to be not ancient again, I do my own study. In fact, before I do this, I went to Aubrey's place and she teach me how to do it, right? So now, we are now on a virtual format and she's recording it. I'll be on it on Facebook. There are now two groups of people we're talking about. You, all of you members, and the Riway team, right? ADG is not of course, this Riway team, they are very important people. But don't forget, it is not just these people that you see. It's all the backroom boys, the research scientists, the people who make to organize the events, the various country managers, the various staff are all helping you or me, the member, to succeed in the business. And this is what I gather from Dr. Lim Boon Hong. He made this talk. In fact, it's an hour and a half talk, which I'm going to summarize in 3 minutes. Hour and a half talk on the 8th anniversary dinner of Riway. He says that the most important factor in this industry is people. More if appropriate is actually people marketing. And your network of your people under you is your money base and key to your success, without which you're only a direct salesman. And also very important, two things very important. Riway have always the continuous effort to uplift you so that you can succeed better. This is the aim of Riway. But as the chairman says, the group under you will reflect you. What you are, you will attract the people. That bird of feathers flock together. So what you are, you must put yourself in order first. Do you want to succeed? And you want to succeed, how are you going to succeed? And then you will attract the people under you. You be a member first, and then you attract members under you. Not that, oh, I wait for you to be a member, then be a member, right? So all this, you have to change yourself. So this, actually, this will be taught in the NDO, New Distributors Orientation. But these are the 6 culture which Riway holds firm. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I won't go into it, but I want to show you a couple of things. These are the leadership training programs which they offered, and this is very important. Do you know that Riway donated 35 million to the Philippine government? Philippine government help in the COVID-19 process, 35 million. It's not a small sum. For a small company, okay, like Riway, a new company like Riway, 35 million. And look at this. This was taken in December 29 in Singapore National Stadium. She was there, so Aubrey was there, I was there, of course I joined back. And this is what you call a leadership recognition night. That's a recognition night, leadership recognition night. All this below you in the field, thousands of members. And all this behind them, first tier, second tier, third tier, all full up, are invited guests. In fact, there are about 70 over 1,000 in that event alone. Now tell me, do you want to join a company? Do you want to be part of a company that can mobilize such event? I mean, it's not easy to organize an event like that. We have done it. So actually, Riway is on the way to become a #1 in terms of direct selling marketing in the world. Very soon it'll be #1. If you want to get aboard now, you still have the chance, right? This is the 3rd anniversary gala dinner in June 2019. And this is the recognition night in Philippines. You look at all the beautiful ladies. Of course, I was not there because I know I'm just taking a picture. Now, in conclusion, right? Change is here. You have no choice. You cannot get back the new normal. You cannot get back. You have to respond to change. Otherwise, you become fossilized and turn into stones. Now, there are many groups of people who are this. First of all, the OFW. A lot of OFW in Saudi Arabia, UAE, and so on. Their job, no more. Or at risk of losing their job. What do they do when they come back to the Philippines? What can they do? For this group of people, I say, hey, don't come back yet. Why do you come back? Because you are there already. Learn the business, lay the groundwork, build up the branches there. Then you come back and you operate the business from here to your contacts overseas. And these overseas are almost everywhere, right? And for those people whose job and industry is on the line, people in the tourism industry, people in the airline industry, people, some manufacturing industry, a lot, that their job are actually no more as they are before. Think of it seriously, consider what I say, right? And take up this opportunity. Number three, for those the health at the risk, you are under maintenance, you are on the risk of diabetic, and you want a solution. Talk to us, talk to Aubrey, talk to Madel, and so on. To others. I like to say to you my reason to join and the reason to continue in Riway. First of all, I wish a healthy cash flow with residual income. Back to the days that I can travel first class. In fact, now I'm happy with business class, that I can really enjoy myself. Now, I don't mean to boast. In my career, in my business, etc., I have built up a savings under the CPF, people who know the State Retirement Fund in Singapore, those who have been to Singapore, of $750,000 Singapore dollars. I have made from stocks and properties something like $1.8 million. Much of this $1.8 million was misappropriated from me. And much of my 750,000 were lost due to the crash impact by the Asian crisis and the world crisis in the year 2008, 2009, and subsequently. So, therefore, what I'm trying to say is that no matter how big a pot you have got, it will be exhausted. It will be exhausted. For example, I invested in a company in Philippines. It was a loss. It has a loss of $3 million. I invest in the money, put in a working capital, turn it around to a profit of 15 million. But being only a minority shareholder, they ease me off, they kick me off, right? So that's it. So I say, bye-bye, sorry, if this money I can afford to lose, I walk off. The second reason I am in Riway is my wife's health. When I met my wife at that time, 20 plus years ago, she was very unhealthy. She suffered from severe migraine, she has liver issues, kidney issues, heart issues, name it, she has it. I am a Suki of Riway out of mercury drug. I know which mercury drug in which town that is open 24 hours. Luckily for me, luckily for her, I am blessed with the knowledge that, hey, this is not the way to heal. The way to heal is actually, to be honest, is non-drug way. As a result of that, when I know that the medicine she's taking affects her kidney, affects her heart, I threw it away immediately. And since then, she has not been any problem area. To the credit of Aubrey, and I wish to thank Aubrey on that. Aubrey has called my wife for nearly 1 year to bring her into the office. In the end, she agreed to go to the office. 1 year, she was just talking, Tita, can you do this, blah, blah, blah. 1 year. My wife was skeptical. She said, no, don't bother me. I have my own business. But Aubrey did not stop. In the end, she went to the office, attend training for months. Then one day she asked me, hey, honey, can you come to the office? So when I went to the office, the first thing I stepped in the office in Mall of Asia, I saw the chart of ingredient on the wall. And I told my wife, this is the one that will bring people back to health. Go ahead, embrace it. No worries, right? By all means. And of course, my wife became a member, but I did not yet become a member. I know, because no, I mean, I am retired. I mean, I don't want to work so hard. And I become member when my mother was admitted to ICU at end of October and beginning of November. She was admitted because the arteries the main artery and the main veins from the heart, only one half of that 4 is working. That means you're only subsiding on half, right? Not 4, but half only. In fact, the doctor said, and when we were there on 2nd November, around the bed of my mother, my wife was there. She died for 3 hours. And when she came out, she said she saw a white lady. But anyway, that's another story. But the doctor said, go back home. No point. Just a 1% chance to live. 1% chance to live. Don't waste your money staying in the hotel. It's very, I mean, stay in the ICU. It's very expensive. So we took our mother back. And when I took our mother back, she was lying in the bed, almost bedridden.
Just like waiting.
Yeah, just like waiting to go. Waiting to go. On the next day after she come back to the house, I went to Ang Mo Kio, Riway office, bought the same first bottle, come back to the mother. Hey, Mama, can you take this? It's vitamin pill, good for you. My mother said, no, I'm so old already. What's the use of giving this expensive thing? I will want to go. Never mind, don't waste it. So obviously, I cannot force her. So I left. At the time, my wife went back to Philippines. She took with her 3/4 bottle of that 1 bottle of Riway that I bought. I left 1/4. And at the end of the day, she was persuaded to take it. After 2 capsules, the transformation is in fact miraculous, right? And from then, I stayed behind for another 3 months to monitor her, to keep her with all the putia morning, putia night. And she changed from being a bedridden to a person that's walking around, going in the kitchen, cooking and so on. She was 94 at that time. Of course, at that age, you have to go, means you have to go. But in the year before she go, she was very happy. She had talked to all the people she wanted to talk to, see all the people she wanted to see to, enjoy all the food that she wanted to enjoy, and she's very happy. And Putia helped a lot. Okay, I mean, Madel, my wife had more other experience, but this is my experience. Why I want to continue Putia? Because having people to regain the health is a very good feeling. It's a very good feeling, right? And this is, in fact, what I want to say in terms of conclusion. But on the other hand, this point, if not this, what? If not now, when? Suppose you are the person that the Wright brothers, a long time ago, Wright brothers asked you, hey, I got this business. And the business is, in fact, can fly people from USA to Europe, across the ocean, can fly people. You tell him, hey, you're crazy. Just like I'm telling you now, regenerative medicine, you're crazy. How can it be healed just with a capsule? You will say, hey, I don't believe you're crazy. How can people fly in an aeroplane if there's an airplane in the first place? But if I have told you that and you pass it away, and you Wright brothers told you that and you pass it off, how will you be able to explain to your grandchild that a great opportunity is offered to you and you turn away? You obviously, you kick yourself. So the same thing here. Have the mindset change. Analyze what I said. Take the decision. But then you say to me, hey, MK, how can I do it? I mean, I'm not expert. I don't do this. Blah. Who can I talk to? Blah, 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 and so on. Actually, very simple. Just like you do not need to know how a car works to drive a car. Right? All you do is, the how is you just take it yourself. Just like I was telling the people, take it. observe what is happening to you, and then share it to the people. And that's it. Simple as that. Everything will follow. You don't have to do all these GOOTC, OPP, and so these are being done for you. All you do is to take it, observe, and pass on. And who can I talk to? A lot of people. Everybody who is sick, your loved ones, your husband, your whatever we call it, your loved ones, your relatives, and so on. And you don't need to talk to a lot of people. All you need to talk is you build up your first two lines, first two levels, maybe about 8 people. And that's it, right? And then you can sit back and let these 8 people do the job for you, right? You franchise 8 people under you, or even 4 people, you will do. Now, where can I share? Right now, with the internet, and Filipino people are very good on Facebook, believe me, believe me. They are #1 in Facebook in the world. You can share this to everywhere in the world. And Filipinos are everywhere in the world. I know it because when I was in Saudi Arabia, there are Filipinos, they were there before, and set up sari store in the middle of the desert. And that was what, 1978, 79, so long ago, right? I know the Philippine people quite well. I know they are intelligent people, resourceful people, and very resilient. Why do I know that? I come here to Philippines for my credit training during the days of 1974, 1975. Since then, how many years ago? Well, maybe 50 years ago, right? I mean, that's all the time. And I've been here doing business since the Ramos days. And now my wife, we are married for 21 over years. So that I know the Philippines, right? So I know that you will be able to analyze what I say, put it in your own context, and then go around to market it to the world. And this is very important. The technology and the product and the business is here in the East. It's here in the East. You're bringing this to Europe and America, to the developed countries, where the money is. This is where your advantage is. Because if the technology comes from America to you, how can you bring it back to America? All right, you cannot. But the technology and the product and the business organization is here in Asia, is here in the East. You embrace this. The world is your market, right? So on this note, I'd like to end. Well, thank you so much for your kind attention. If you can get back to us, either Aubrey or Madel or any one of you who invited you, I'll be very happy to follow any. So now back to you, Aubrey. I hope you recorded this and put me on Facebook. Okay, so I stop the share now.
Okay. Can we give another virtual clap to Tito MK? All right, so that's actually a super excellent presentation from him because as we